Have you ever noticed your dog suddenly perk up, staring intently at something you can't see or hear? Their ears twitch, their nose twitches, they might even let out a little whine. It's almost as if they're tuned into a secret world beyond our perception, right? In today's video, we're diving into the 17 most astonishing abilities that allow dogs to experience things entirely hidden from human senses. You know that feeling you get when you've had a terrible day? The weight of the world is on your shoulders and your dog they come up to you, nuzzle your hand, maybe even rest their head on your lap. It's like they're saying, "Hey, I'm here for you, let's go for a walk." And you feel just a little bit lighter. That's because dogs are emotional detectives. They're hardwired to understand us. They pick up on our tone of voice. Is it sharp? Is it soothing? They see our body language. Are we slumped over? Are we making eye contact? And they smell those tiny changes in our scent when we're stressed or sad. Remember, their sense of smell is thousands of times stronger than ours. That comforting nuzzle? It's their way of saying, "I've got you." We've all heard the stories, right? The dog who wouldn't stop sniffing their owner's leg, and it turns out there was a tumor there. Or the dog who started acting strangely around their diabetic owner just before their blood sugar crashed. These aren't just heartwarming coincidences. Dogs have up to 300 million olfactory receptors in their noses. That's like having a superpowered smelloscope. They can sniff out diseases like cancer, diabetes, and even impending epileptic seizures by detecting subtle changes in human scent. Imagine your dog being your personal health hero. It's more common than you think. This one always blows my mind. Long before we feel the tremors, dogs often sense the initial seismic activities that signal an earthquake. How? They're in tune with the earth in a way we're not. Their acute hearing picks up on those deep, low-frequency sounds that travel through the ground before an earthquake. And their sensitivity to ground vibrations? It's like having a built-in earthquake detector. So if you see your dog acting strangely restless or anxious, pacing, whining, even trying to hide, and you haven't felt anything yet, it might be time to check the news. Number 4, knowing when you're coming home. Okay, we've all been there. You're driving home from work, and as soon as you pull onto your street, you see your dog's tail wagging furiously behind the window. It's like they have a sixth sense, right? But it's not magic. It's their incredible ability to pick up on subtle environmental cues. Think about it. They might hear the familiar sound of your car engine from blocks away, or they might detect those tiny changes in household scents as you get closer. Dogs are creatures of habit. They learn our routines. They know when we usually come home, and they start anticipating our arrival. It's a beautiful combination of their sharp senses and their deep bond with us. Number 5, spotting tiny movements. Have you ever tried to sneak a treat past your dog? It's nearly impossible, right? They see everything. That's because dogs have an incredible ability to notice the tiniest of movements. Think about their ancestors, the wolves. They had to be able to spot prey from far away, even if it was just a flicker of a squirrel's tail in the distance. This same ability makes them amazing at detecting things we often overlook. It's why they're so good at playing fetch. They see the ball leave your hand and track its every move. Number 6, seeing in low light. We all know dogs can see in the dark, but did you know their night vision is far superior to ours? It's all thanks to their eyes. They have a higher number of rod cells in their retinas, which are responsible for detecting light and movement in low light conditions. And they have a special reflective layer behind their retina called the tapetum lucidum. It's like having a mirror in the back of their eyes, reflecting light back through the retina and giving them a second chance to see it. This allows them to see in conditions much darker than what humans can navigate. That's why their eyes glow in the dark. Have you ever noticed your dog acting strangely anxious right before a storm? Pacing, whining, hiding? It's not just the loud thunderclaps. Dogs can detect shifts in barometric pressure and static electricity, which often accompany changes in weather. It's like having a built-in barometer. So if your pup suddenly seems restless or uneasy, a storm might be brewing long before you see a single dark cloud. Subscribe to explore the fascinating world of canine senses. This one always amazes me. Dogs can hear the subtle sounds of muscle movements and joint adjustments. Think about that for a second. It's like having superhuman hearing. It's why they often react to the slightest motion, even when you're trying to be stealthy. They hear those tiny clicks and pops in your body long before you even make a sound. It's also why they're so good at reading our body language. They're not just seeing our movements, they're hearing them too. How do dogs know when it's dinner time? Or when it's time for their walk? It's more than just routine. While not fully understood, dogs seem to have an innate sense of time. They anticipate routine events like mealtimes or your arrival home, possibly by detecting changes in light throughout the day or by following their own internal rhythms. Some scientists believe they might even have a biological clock that helps them track time. Number 10. Detecting electrical fields. This one's a bit of a mystery, but some researchers believe dogs can sense electrical fields. It's still being studied, but it might explain their ability to detect electronic devices. Think about how your dog reacts when your phone rings, even if it's on vibrate. They sense it. This ability might also play a role in their ability to predict seizures in epileptic individuals. It's as if they can feel those changes in electrical activity in the brain. Number 11. Recognizing faces. We all like to think our dogs know who we are, right? But it's more than just recognizing our scent. Dogs can differentiate between human faces and read our expressions, allowing them to respond appropriately to our emotional states. They're wired to understand us. They know when we're happy, sad, angry, or excited, just by looking at our faces. It's one of the many reasons why they're such incredible companions. They truly know us better than we think. Number 12. Sensing pregnancy. Many owners report that their dogs become more attentive and protective during pregnancy, even before they themselves know they're expecting. This isn't just a coincidence. Dogs are masters at picking up on subtle changes in their humans. They likely detect hormonal changes in their pregnant owners, as well as shifts in body language and even subtle changes in scent. Their protective instincts kick in, making them extra cuddly and watchful over their pregnant humans. Number 13. Detecting low blood sugar. This is one of the most incredible examples of a dog's super-powered sense of smell. Trained diabetic alert dogs can sense drops in their owner's blood sugar levels, often before the person is even aware of it. They do this by detecting subtle changes in the person's scent, caused by fluctuations in blood sugar. These amazing dogs are literally lifesavers, alerting their owners to take action and prevent potentially dangerous medical situations. Number 14. Perceiving infrasound. We've talked about how well dogs hear, but this is next level. Dogs can hear infrasound frequencies, which are sounds that are too low for humans to hear. These sounds are produced by natural events like avalanches, earthquakes, or even distant thunder. It's like having a sixth sense for danger. So if your dog suddenly seems anxious or starts acting strangely, it might be picking up on infrasound warnings from miles away, alerting them to dangers long before they become apparent to humans. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and you can just something's off? Dogs have that same ability, but amplified. They can detect the scent of adrenaline and other stress-related chemicals that humans and animals release when they're afraid. It's why dogs can often sense fear or anxiety in others, even if the person is trying to hide it. It's their way of reading the room and knowing when something's not right. Now, this is truly incredible. Recent studies have shown that dogs can be trained to identify individuals infected with COVID-19. It turns out, the virus causes specific metabolic changes in the body that produce unique volatile organic compounds. And guess what? Dogs can smell them. Their powerful noses can detect these compounds in human sweat, breath, and even urine. These amazing dogs are being trained to assist in everything from airport screenings to identifying asymptomatic individuals. Here's that weird one I promised you. Have you ever noticed your dog acting strangely restless or anxious right before a thunderstorm, even before a single rumble of thunder? It's not just the barometric pressure changes. Dogs are highly sensitive to changes in static electricity, which often build up in the atmosphere before a storm. They can literally feel the storm coming long before it arrives. This sensitivity to static can also explain why some dogs might get spooked by seemingly random things like certain fabrics or even the air blowing from a vent. It's all about those electrical charges. Isn't it incredible how our canine companions experience a world so different from ours? They're constantly bombarded with sights, sounds, smells, and sensations that we're completely unaware of. Their heightened senses allow them to perceive nuances that are completely hidden to us. They're tuned into the subtle language of nature, the whispers of emotion, the unseen energies that surround us. If you found these insights fascinating, you'll love our next video. 14 incredible things your dog can see and hear that you can't. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What's the most surprising thing your dog has ever reacted to? Let us know.